All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of TGCT Live. It's just myself, Els41, broadcasting from Harrogate in the UK, where actually we've had like one of the hottest days of the year. It's ridiculous.
Oh wow,
1st of October, yeah. And Dr. Yeti's with me from Salt Lake City. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I think it's a record-breaking day in Salt Lake today as well.
Really?
Yes, I think it's just for the month of October though.
Oh, well, that's still pretty good. Just
Yeah,
just for heat or for bad weather.
for heat.
Oh, excellent, excellent. That's good to hear. So the reason we're on is first of all, you've released a new course.
I have.
I've released a new course, and we thought we'd play them both. We're going to do this in two parts. I've released a course that was exclusively really designed for Pro T and for simulators. So we're going to play round that one. Then what we'll do is we'll restart the stream. We're going to play Yeti's new Sneaky Yeti course on that one, and then my Bunyip River in Delta, and Crazy Canuck's going to join us for that one for now. But we thought we'd start and just sort of have a video to itself, as it were, for my new Pro T course, which I've sent you in the past, haven't you?
Yes, I actually have only played the first 7 holes.
And at the time, can you remember what you thought?
I loved it. I loved it. Now, obviously, it's going to play very, very short because you've designed this specifically for Pro T simulator players. Not able to hit it straight every single time like you can with a controller. Only able to really carry it 230 to 250. Those sorts of things.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be what we're going to do is I've said that we're not going to
We're taking the driver out of our hands.
Yeah, the driver's out. 3 wood down is fine because realistically, I mean, I know you said you can drive the ball in real life about 270, 265 if you hit it well, but not everyone with a simulator is going to be that good. So, no, we're going to.
I'm going to tee off with a 5-wood every time.
Okay, there we are. That's cool. But yeah, the point of this is it's made for simulators and for the no aids or true sim tour guys as well. That's a growing sort of game or mode of playing. No aids on as well.
Yes.
So we've actually got Keith, who's a few holes ahead of us at the moment on my.
I see that, and I've got Fusion on mine as
Okay.
well.
Excellent. Welcome along, everyone in the chat room. I know we announced this very, very late. Mr. Ula, welcome along. Has already said hello. Good to see you.
Yes.
So, as I said, the point of this really was for simulator and Pro T and no aids play. So the course is short. It's only 6,220. The greens are soft. The fairways are soft. But hopefully it looks good, and hopefully the Pro T guys and the simulator guys will get on. And for those of you who are watching on our YouTube channel, which I presume will probably be the majority, it'd be great if you could leave feedback, and if this goes down well, I'll happily create another one for you guys. So any feedback is really welcome.
So in trying to keep it shorter, in trying to keep it a little wider and more open space, did you find designing it was easier or more difficult?
A bit of both. Easier
Right.
because I didn't have to do anything. Because it's... I expect us to shoot really well on this, but because it's made essentially like a real golf course, I've kept the fairways quite wide. On the back nine there's a few thinner fairways, but the fairways are generally a bit wider, the greens are a bit bigger and flatter, and actually I had to throw everything I thought about taking a tricky golf course out the window, because a normal course or an easy course for us playing on a PC or an Xbox or a PlayStation is going to be really difficult for a guy on a simulator. So I almost had to make it as easy as possible, and that was a little bit of a challenge, but it was also nice not having that bit of freedom to actually make something much simpler.
Right. Well, this second hole's a pretty one. I like all these grasses in front of the tee box.
Thank you. Yeah, I use quite a lot of You know the red bar?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's quite a long way up, actually. A lot more than I wanted it to be.
Oh,
But,
slow down.
the other thing is the greens are
Wow.
relatively flat.
I just hit a terrible putt.
You have
Terrible
launch
putt.
that.
And I just sent another one by. I'm 3-putting number 2. Well, I'm going to be the first one to shoot over par on your course.
I think it might be up there as well. Eddie Vedder, welcome along. Bob God, welcome along.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Hi, Bob God. Hi, Eddie. Hi, Mr. Rula. Love that name.
Is it Mr. Ula or is it Marula? You have to let us know.
Yeah. Mr. Ula. Yeah, this is a great hole.
The other thing with this is, keeping the... A lot of people just have a really thin strip of light rough down the side. I've tried to expand that out a bit. Bunkers, you have to hit the ball badly to go in them, really.
Mm-hmm.
That tree there at about, what's that, probably about 100 yards? 140 yards?
Yeah.
I left that there. Again,
that's out of the way.
Yeah. So I'm only hitting a 5 wood.
I have certainly played real-life courses with more noticeable hazards right in the way than that.
Yeah.
I like the placement of that little tree, actually.
One thing I think I did... Oh, our balls are literally right next to each other. I can almost hit yours on the screen here.
I could hit yours with mine.
I've tried to make the fairways really undulating. If you look at this one, so we've both hit the ball down the right-hand side. You'd have a very different shot if you hit it down the left, because it's a lot deeper over there.
Okay.
So instead of tricking it up in terms of doing things like, having bunkers, or I've just made the fairway do different things depending on where your ball goes.
So it has to adjust your, take your stance more into account.
Mr. Oller, 3 O's to make Yanks pronounce it anywhere near correct. TV Bassman, welcome along, sir.
Oh, there's a good birdie.
Oh, get in. Yeah, be interested to see what... I've just lipped out there. People who play this on a console or on the PC with no aids on. Think of it.
Uh-huh.
So hole 4, danger on the left, obviously. Danger on the right, but the fairway here, especially leading up to the turn, is very wide and generous.
Yes.
And I think if you're on a sim, Yeti's probably hit the perfect shot there if we see where that's going to land. That's really where you're aiming. It dips down around here. There's a little dip which could roll you off into the rough, and then you do have a really dangerous shot. You're playing back onto the fairway if you're there. The other option is to hit and have it just turn to the right slightly, and that should give you a bit of higher ground which to approach the flag from this one.
I see that. Kind of watching your stream a couple seconds behind you're talking. Yeah, I can see that you're talking about.
The pin on this one, I could have tucked it all the way to the left-hand side, but I thought I'm going to have to put it on the right here, because otherwise that's a really dangerous shot. It's things like that that I had to think and worry about.
Mm-hmm. You may want to release Balor's Forest Pro T course difficult, and maybe tuck some of the pins a little bit more tricky.
Yeah, well, if it ends up on the true sim saw, which is kind of one of the aims, there'll be a four-pin version of it.
Oh, very nice. Do you plan on making a longer version? Did you happen to leave any room to add, 70 yards to some of the holes?
I have, yeah. Yeah, there's space for other stuff. Keith's tearing this up. He's way ahead of us, but then again, I bet they're using drivers and stuff.
Yeah.
So 5 is a guts test. Do you have the guts, or the balls, whatever, to hit it over those bunkers, or are you going to play safe and hit it short? If you do hit it short, you're aiming about 220, 230 for a decent shot into the pin. Your line has been pretty good there, aiming for that right-hand side.
I got a little bit too far to the left. I just caught the light rough. I had a little bit of a hook on my swing there.
Yeah,
I like this staircase going up to the next tee box.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was the last thing I did on the whole course. That.
It's funny how you remember those little things like that.
Yeah. Those bunkers are quite deep as well. You really don't want to be in them, especially if you're playing on a sim and having to chip out, because they're quite a long way away from the green. You know, they're still 100 yards. So you're really, you know, you're going to drop a shot on this hole if you end up in one of those.
Oh, you hit a great shot in.
We're lucky with the wind here. I don't know what wind they do with wind on a sim. I presume you don't have any.
I would think that they get just the same indicator, just saying, hey, the wind's blowing left to right 4. You know, I would think it would be just the same.
30 miles an hour wind.
Oh, horrible, horrendous. Rage quit on the simulator.
Throw your stick straight at it. So 6 is the I take it back. It's not. The longest par 5 is 16. 6 is the second longest. There's no holes on this course over 530.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Most of the courses I play here in Salt Lake from the blues average between 490 and 550. You rarely see a par 5 longer than that from the blue tees. That is, at least where I'm from.
Yeah. Well, for the furthest tees on this are white, then blue, black, red. But I don't know if I'll release a blue and black version. I might release a blue version if there's that's like second hardest. So people who are not playing on sims, there's a good there's a pretty easy way of making this green in 2. Otherwise, you might want to play it short. The bunkers on this are enormous. They're not that deep. The one to the right there is pretty deep.
I just got stuck in the one to the right.
Just
Yo, watch. You just call it out, and I'll hit my ball into it.
Bob God saying he likes the marshy area. Thanks a lot. That was from the last hole. Tried to raise the green up a bit here, give you something of a, make that bunker scare you.
I'm going to get up and down from that. My putting has just been atrocious today.
I think this where my ball is, you see how the left to right goes. That might be a bit. One thing I sent this to a couple of the Pro T guys, and one thing that they both said is that 1 or 2 of the greens are a little fast like that. Not bad, they said. Difficult for sure. And I kind of like that because it can't all be too easy. But this is 7. Another one where. See, this is a par 5 7. 2 par 5s in a row. And that river is at about 200 exactly. So it's another one. If you fancy your driver, you'll clear it. If you don't, you do have 5 shots to get this in the cup. So you could play it short. To play it short, you need to probably hit the ball about 160, 170. Try not to keep it, if you do play it short, close to those rocks, because they do get in the way. If you are going to play it short, you probably want to land about around here-ish to give yourself a good sight. We'll obviously both be able to clear it.
Yeah, I like that, because it looks like the full carry is maybe 205. And, for the average amateur weekend golfer, the duffer, carrying 205 is still pretty tough.
I'd be thrilled if I carried 205.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be thrilled if I carried 105. This pin is a safe one. The bunker on the left-hand side, which you probably saw on that approach, is a bit of a danger if you're going to hit it down that side or if there's excessive wind. The green itself, there's a bowl in the middle of it that I've actually landed in. You can see there's a bit of yellow markers there where I'm stood, but other than that, it's actually all relatively flat. It's going to be a tricky putt.
See, I've got it, so I'm just missing that big ridge that you're going up over, but I've still got a 70-foot putt. Right, this is going to be the eagle putt of all eagle putts if this goes in.
Even Keith's on -8, so this must be easy. How did your putt go?
It's off. It's got like 3 breaks in it, and it's mostly uphill, and it was like 80 feet, 75 feet, and I'm about 15 feet short.
Oh, unlucky.
And just missed my birdie putt, darn it. Well, there we are. I'm just sitting even par still.
8's the first one where the thin... I think this is the thinnest fairway on the front 9, maybe other than 1. But from where you drive from, you're not hitting it straight, you're hitting it on a diagonal, so you've got more space to hit it at. There's a bunker that's actually hidden from the tee box, but all you have to do is a flyover and it's very much there. That's at about 250, so you'd have to do well to hit in it. Probably about 235 from the front. You'd have to really smash it some to hit the bunkers on the right-hand side, but they're there to mop up anything short, or second shots that you might miss short. The bunkers that will catch people here are the 2 that are in the front of the green. The one at the back, again, is there, but be surprised. And this is another one with a really undulating fairway, so there's little bumps everywhere and hills on. And where we've both hit it, there is a bit of a dip. You're aiming here probably to hit it over towards that right-hand side of the fairway, to be honest. And that gives you a view into the green. The pin is very much front and centre. Maybe a touch close to the front, hitting it past and coming back on yourself as a thought. But those bunkers are absolutely there to trap.
Yes. Yeah, I had a slight uphill lie, and I think if I would have been more right on the fairway, it would have been a better stance. You went a little long.
Yeah, I was really long, but I didn't. I just hit the club I was given. I didn't actually think to change anything. I'm too busy talking. Ooh, that's a nice putt, though. No.
Keith's on 10 under through 18. Or through 17. He's having a go at this. Oh, this is a pretty looking par 3. Par 3 to finish the 9.
This is my favourite hole on the course. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I thought, why not?
I like it. Yeah, this is a really nice view. I like how the little clubhouse is slightly obscured by the trees, just kind of poking out. Hello.
Yeah, it's quite inviting, that. But yeah.
Oh, it is.
You can hit the ball here. This is all about the green on this one, because it is relatively flat, but it slopes down towards the green, albeit very, very slowly. So you can hit the ball around this area, the opposite side to where Yeti's just gone, and it should roll towards here. It's slightly bowled towards the flag. But if I drop this down, there's a lot of broken trees on this. I've got one going into the water there. I think this is the game that I like. It's a really nice effect that you can do with the game. That Canucks doing. Oh yeah, his President's Cup live matchup is at 10 o'clock Eastern on Mumble. If any of our President's Cup players are watching.
Well, that's exciting. Yeah, the President's Cup. That's basically the top 20 best golfers in the world at this game, all squaring off against each other. Wow.
Yeah, that's going to be really exciting.
Now, speaking of the couple of the best golfers in the world, you had the privilege, and you did an amazing job commentating with Keith from HB the final round of the knockout tournament.
Oh, I'll tell you what, that was so exciting. It was. I mean, thank you, Keith, so much for letting me come on and do that. What a privilege that was. But what a game as well. Blue Orf and Doyley, undoubtedly two of the best people at the golf club, and they both absolutely smashed that course up, and it was so tight. Definitely go back on. I'm sure HP will put that on YouTube, and go and watch that now. It was good, and it was a privilege to be able to call it all. For 10 here, this is another one where you don't want to get too close to this stuff, because the closer you get to it, the more it's going to obscure your view. So actually a 5 wood is, and hitting the ball about 225 or so, is probably the best way to go. There's also a ridge, oh, the screen moved too quickly, but probably at about 175 that I've just landed on top of, but if you're too short, you're going to find yourself hitting over it, which could be a bit interesting. But is that your second shot landed there? That's a great shot onto the...
Yeah, I've got it 9 feet in.
Anything short here will be punished and roll back down onto the way. But
oh, get there.
The raised green is there to give you a side of it if you do get closer to those bushes off your first shot.
Oh, you've done a wonderful job with these par 3s.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
Every one of them's just been great. Just a real treat visually, designed well. The bunkers look great.
Thank you. That's very kind. The bunker right in front of the green here is really very deep.
I was looking at that.
Yeah.
And I like the way you've done it where it's not all the bunker that brings the depth. The grass just sucks down. Where the bunker's still deep, but it's also how deep the grass goes too. It looks really sharp.
Thank you. Depending on how, again, confident you feel, the pin here is in an awkward place. But the reason I put it here is that you can aim for the fairway in front of it and play it short, and you know you'll be playing for par then, a chip on hopefully, and a close putt. The other option is off the tee, smash it to the left of the green, and then a long putt. I presume most people will go for the flag, but it's in a position where you can hopefully get a bounce off the fairway.
Yeah, I played a high draw and landed it just on the front of the green. I've got a little 8-footer here.
Oh, I had a horrible, horrible bounce.
But I would imagine a good chunk of the simulator crowd can't just say, oh, I'm going to hit a high draw into this one.
No, of course not. Yeah, I reckon a lot of people will be playing that short. Get it bouncing around here, and bouncing on, and that should be your answer. Oh, I'm going to drop a shot. What an awful putt.
Someone is your hero, Els, and it's none other than Irving.
Oh, here he is. Hello, mate. Welcome along. The bunkers on this one are actually shared from 10. The first one to your left. But
I was following where this one was coming around from.
Yeah. So it's like an N shape. We had the right-hand side of it was 10, the top was 11, and 12. So that water stretch is about 100 yards, and the fairway, albeit thinly, starts at about 120. Do you really want to be... Again, yes, he's got the line there. Those bunkers on the left are deep, particularly the one further on, but you really have to shank it to get it in one of them.
Alright, I'm going to put this one in the stupid cup. Get in the hole.
Get in the hole.
I threw a good one in. Alright, I'm under par, finally.
Ooh. Wow. Just getting a message from Fusion, who was just playing this with Blue Orf and Keith without the aids on, and they seem to like it, which is very good of them. The next par 5. This is the shortest par 5 on the course.
Oh, I think I forgot to change my club.
Oh, that's alright. It undulates massively, but depending on how good you are, it starts undulating at about 350, where those trees are over on the little tree on the right-hand side and the burnt tree. Careful right, obviously, massive, you land on that rough when you're going in the drink. But
left side of the fairway looks like it'll try and pull you into the rough.
Yeah, or that bunker. That's actually just where I'm landing now. So this is a tip of what not to do.
But it wasn't too bad. It still kept you in the fairway. You're just going to have an awkward stance.
Yeah. This will go off to the left. Might hit the rough. There's rough in between the fairway and green. And the pin's in a bit of a nasty place here, but again, it's another slightly raised green. But if you really smash it off the tee, you could get there in 2. More likely going to get there in 3, or in the bunker. Just see fly in it over there.
I am buried. Just buried.
That green is mostly flat. Again, it's bowled around the pin.
Oh, how did I miss that? Darn it. I can't make a 3-foot birdie putt.
This is this hole here, 14, is the thinnest fairway on the course and the thinnest rough, but it's short. It's the shortest.
Yeah, I was going to say it's very short. I think that's nice and fair because it's a hole
green's
like
not the
this.
biggest either, but it is surrounded by fairway and light rough, so it's not a disaster. But I think if you're playing this sort of with no aids, the wind might catch a few people out. There's a couple of plays here, not through the trees, but I'd like to see someone try. These here, just under where that 322 number is, you can drive over those bushes that are about 200, or you're sneaking it between those bushes and the trees, and there's a lot of leeway over here, so if you want to attach some draw to it, if you're able to do that.
I actually just played a stinger 5-iron because that's probably how I would have played this hole in real life, is just hit a low 5-iron. Just get myself, that's where the most generous part of it.
Yeah, I've landed in one of my traps, so there's a hill in front of that bunker, and I'm actually just right in front of it. I couldn't have got closer to that if I tried. For me, the green's unsighted. So I probably used the club too strong there. So I think that hole might... I was hoping with that hole that it would be a...
I almost swooshed that, holy cow.
Oh, you did? Oh, unlucky. It bounced right on line. I'm hoping this hole might catch people out, but without people wanting to rage quit.
It's a nice hole too.
Yeah, 15 follows the water. The bunkers are actually there to stop you from going in the water. You'd really have to do something slightly dodgy to get in there. I think the play here is over the bunker on the right-hand side. If you can drive sort of 200 yards or so, that's your play. Otherwise, you've got all that down the left. You really have to whack it some to get it in that raised bunker at the front.
It's another one where the longer you want to go, the more difficult the shot gets. But the smart play is probably just hit a 7-iron or a 5-iron into the middle of the fairway, and then have a 7-iron into the green.
Yeah.
These short holes I like them a lot.
Yeah, I think what I tried to do on this one and the last one, for sure, is the traps are only there, so the bunkers and so on. If you really hit, you know, if you play real golf like I do, and just, you know, end up attacking the local wildlife, or at least that's what it looks like. You know, if you play like that, then you're going to end up in a couple of them, but they're not there. There's a few bunkers in front of holes like this one. Again, that one's quite deep, but other than that, the bunkers and so on, that's a rubbish part, are only there to trap the really wavy shots. Blue Wolf, hi guys, gorgeous course, thank you, really enjoyed it. Played a little too easy for true sim as it's so short, especially if the wind is low, but will be good for Pro T. That's exactly the reaction I wanted.
And Blue Orf, you may be happy to hear that Els may release a couple longer versions of this that would maybe be right up the True Sim Tour alley. Yeah,
I think I can probably extend it by about 200-300 yards, which would put it at about 6,450 or 6,500, which is getting toward Bunyip territory, actually. This one as well has got quite a thin fairway, but rough that you can use. Also, this one's quite heavily undulated as well, especially towards the 100-150 mark. But the tee, as you can see, shot is well raised, so you should get some extra length. You hit a driver, didn't you?
Oh, did I?
Yeah, because I can see how far ahead your ball is than mine.
That's the second time I've done that. I'm just so used to being like, oh, I'm going to hit my shot.
I think this actually plays the longest hole. It's not the longest hole in terms of yards. Take it back, yes it is. The par 6, par 5, 6th is not far off this, but has a bend in it. Look at everyone saying they'd love to play this on the simulator. Well, maybe HB Studios, if you do another competition, a simulator could be the prize. Then you get some entrants, like a lot of entrants.
And we all get one for suggesting it.
Oh, definitely.
Or at the very least, the Pro T people should just send you a simulator for advertising their system.
I think so. I've said their name quite a few times, haven't I?
Oh, Irving's running scouting for
a
Doily.
For Doily? Hmm.
The champion of the HB Studios Knockout Tour.
Yeah.
It's a great match.
There's got to be another one of those. Here's a little bit of a thing for you. Hole 17. I built this hole during the last HB live stream. I was listening to Anthony and Keith talk and built this hole while it was happening.
I like this hole. I like the course we played yesterday. The Nameless Horse did this a lot, where the green and then it just kind of falls off the back and just has a great view into the distance. This hole's got that going for it.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I think to get over the back, you have to hit it about 190, and I've tried. So you really have to overhit this. You're more likely to hit the bunkers on the right-hand side with this pin, but they're really there for show, to be honest, or to knock up anything really bad.
I'm going to throw an ace at this hole.
I'm not even on the green.
Sorry about that. I muted myself so I didn't cough into my mic.
There. Well done. And for that comment, I've got a really difficult shot. I think this is one thing that, hopefully for sim players and that, this will help people improve their putting. Oh, I'm going to drop 2 shots on this silly hole.
I've actually, and I'd be curious if any of the Pro T people will, respond or post to this in some way. But I've actually played on a simulator before, and we had it set to where if the putt was within 10 feet, it was just a gimme. Because putting on a simulator is so weird and just, it has no feel to the real life kind of at all. So usually I think they have like if it's within 10 or 15 feet, it's just a gimme stroke.
It's one of those things, though, isn't it? How do you do it? Do you get one of the little putting machines and stick it underneath the simulator and link that to it somehow, or
Have like a little putt-putt hole right next to your simulator.
Yeah, windmill. So 18.
That's a great finisher.
The fairway at about 210, 200, massively flows from right to left. And if you really get some roll on it, that bunker, the first of the three on the right-hand side, will mop you up. Anything longer, I have, with a 5-wood, smacked it straight into one of those bunkers, and you weren't far away.
Yep, just bounced right into the rough, actually.
And then you've obviously got to set yourself up for water in front of the green. The other thing is, this a Canuck course? No, it's my course.
That's a big, it's a compliment.
It is.
I would take that as a compliment.
It is a compliment. Thank you. This green's pretty even, other than the edges, which will roll off.
I just bludgeoned my putt. That was terrible.
Oh, really? Are we going to see? Oh, I saw it leave just as my ball landed. Oh, it's still going.
The Blue Orf is saying I played on a simulator before a few years ago. They used Lynx 2000. Love it. I love hearing any Lynx reference. Wasn't great though. As Eddie said, putting wasn't good at all. Yeah, Blue Orf, did they just kind of give it to you at 10 or 15 feet?
And in. Didn't quite get Keith's -11. That was really good going.
Well, I'm going to take a -3. I bogeyed the last hole. That's kind of my thing. I always have to give one back to the course on the way in.
I'm going to give myself a 10 because I deserve it.
Yeah. I'm giving you a 10 because it was a great course, and I'm sure the Pro T guys will absolutely love this, and I think it's awesome that you built it specifically with them in mind.
Yeah, thank you. That was the point. I thought, there's a lot of people who, I say a lot, but when all the Pro T stuff was announced, I thought, there's a chance here to get people actually playing golf, real golf, on a fantasy course or a video game course that I could design. And I thought, why not build something for those people? I didn't know how many of them there were. There might have been 10 people, there might be 1 million people that had it, but hopefully it goes down well. I know a lot of people in the chat, and thank you for your comments, have played it with no green grids or any of that sort of stuff on, and said it's pretty good, so thanks a lot. Anyone watching this on YouTube, your thoughts and opinions, particularly if you are someone who plays with a simulator, would be very, very much appreciated. And if you do like it a lot, I'll happily build you another one. A very, very similar idea, because I probably enjoyed making this as much as I enjoyed making most of my other ones. So if you are watching on YouTube, please feel free to leave a like and let us know what you think. People watching on Twitch, if you want to subscribe to the channel, there's the follow button on the left-hand side that you're welcome to push, and you get a notification whenever we're online. You can donate to the channel as well. We had another donation in today, actually, which was very, very kind of one of our regular viewers. You can do that there's a donate button at the bottom of the screen. What we're going to do now is stop the stream and then restart it. We're going to play Dr. Yeti's new course, which he sneakily published without anyone noticing. Clues in the name. And then we're going to play Bunyip River in the Delta theme as well. So we'll be off for 5 minutes. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you'll probably see the next video. That'll be us playing those two courses. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Thank you for watching, and see you in a minute.